What do you own? A dinosaur? You don't own it. The moon? Elon's working on it. Your ex's Netflix? Definitely don't own it. An island? In your dreams. Your thoughts? Jury's still out. Your .com? Just renting, baby. That cute puppy? The puppy owns you. So, what can you truly own? A handshake domain. Own the name. Own the dot.
Good morning, where everyone is. I'm Irv. I'm introducing unified AI and the idea of the intersection of programmable and agentic TLDs, the identity infrastructure and the agentic web. Basically, my idea is that any handle that's on the HNS blockchain, TLD, can become an agentic profile. You can program it to become a workflow, an execution, endpoint, anything that's going on right now in the AI space in the agentic ecosystem. And the agentic TLDs could become where they're passable with crypto, where they're doing agent to agent, or even where you're talking about with devices. So you can get them on, I think Pico Claw right now has where you can get it on a PCB board and a few other repos where basically if you got this on an agent on a device, and then it's also connected to whichever other workflows, you can basically talk to anything that's connected to it with if it's Wi-Fi. And then with the presentations from yesterday, with even earlier today, with Tollgate, and I can't think of the one from yesterday with Mesh Chat with Chris. I think you got a lot of possibilities with TLDs. And then so if we move over to them being API keys and wallets, that opens up the idea of them being able to become a business, being able to run for you in the background or in the foreground, or for your team to do things for you while you're not able to do it. I'm going to go through these slides. I'm nervous, so I'm just going to click through. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I'll try to bounce back and forth from the other screens as possible. We're going to do a registry, and we have some of these handles right here, for example. So the idea is, the last Tendo was saying, you can have as many people register on these as possible or as available. And the idea behind that, they're callable. So if I need to talk to or pull a job from this workflow or that job or that process, I can just add or do a slash command or type it in the browser. I don't even have to be into a chat UI. I can just go to any browser where I would type in a Google search and just type in a handle / and program it to be, that prompt will be callable. And then the UI will bring you your next suggestion or your next output. So the handles don't even have to be interface involved. You don't have to use a terminal. So that's the other concept. I want to move forward a little bit. So agents as a business or business as an agent is the idea, I think, where the biggest investment is, because the biggest user adoption right now is general users for the free users, but and then you have a small percentage that are developers, and then the rest of it is enterprise. But if you want a higher user adoption rate and use handles and get HNS involved, you need regular people to see the investment worth it for them to invest in a handle. And this is where they can see that purpose, where now it can serve the purpose of doing something for you. It can bring you income. It can handle some tasks for you. You can get things that you normally don't have time for or might be overwhelmed with or can't figure out for yourself, or whatever the case. They can operate for you as a business, or your business can operate as an agent, because now your agent can answer calls that you couldn't answer. Your agent can send emails you couldn't send. It can get on social media and figure out the CapCut clips to do that you didn't know about, all the stuff that you might be overwhelmed with as a regular user. So this is where the handle, your agent, your TLD, or your SLD on the TLD can become agentic. So basically, that puts you in a space where we put you in the AI directory or AI marketplace, and every agent, every handle can now trade HNS, can trade, if we create our own tokens or if we create our own AI tokens, agent tokens, developer tokens, UGC tokens, whatever the case may be. The agents can keep a ledger of that. Everybody can know what's going on. And it basically puts you where this becomes like the Spotify of the AI space, where everybody who's a creator, developer, or user of agents can train a model, upload their content, or do something that can be callable, that can be pulled as an API call. I can do really cool workflows and comfy UI, and somebody else might not. So my agent can call your agent. I like the way your workflows come out. I can pay you per call, and now everything that I just did last year on my computer now just made me income because it's in the AI marketplace, or I'm listed in the AI directory. So adoption rate, that's where I feel like the usability of people having a reason to use it other than right now, general users don't have a main user reason other than let me ask this question. But they go to Google for that. So if you can get people to have the agent as the thing you go ask instead of Google or whatever else, you can have an agent that's popular or an influencer that's known for certain things. And people like, let me go ask Johnny's agent because Johnny's agent always gets it together. So that's the adoption rate I think people can hook on to. So if you have TLDs and you have a namespace that can be looked at as what is the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it at the moment, but it's telling you what you do. So for example, direct to garment printing, if your handle is direct to garment printing and your company is Atlanta direct to garment printing, that tells me what you do. I don't have to ask questions about it. That agent has every validation that knows it does that. So little governance standards and things like that will help this intersection, I think. That's pretty much it for that. And then I wanted to show a small demo of what the landing page would look like. This isn't complete. This is just for today. We still have a lot more to go through. But so for example, if your handle is available, I'll just type in Elon and then it'll say, yeah, and you get a countdown. So from here, you go through the onboarding process. The idea for here, though, is depending on the type of handles you choose, and let me actually go back. Depending on the kind of handles you choose, it will grant you the access. He mentioned about open source developers having the ability to get paid. So this would allow you to build on the platform for your agents to control governance that you want and have features that you want to have added instead of waiting for another company to roll it out and they may or may not, or you've already did it and it just killed your SaaS. Build it on here. Everybody who uses it gets tokenized contributions, things like that. And this is where that Spotify example comes in, because if you build on this network, now everybody's using the same network. Everybody's building on the same network. It grows together. It expands as you need for your use case, because the idea that a general company can make a use case for every category of industry just doesn't work. And that's why you have all these other third-party companies that create solutions. So if this is the network that everybody can use and expand and deploy whatever they need, is the idea behind the handles. So when you go through the checkout process, it'll ask you those kind of questions when I finish this part, and it gets you to the point where you have an agent that has identity, it has governance, it has rules, it has a role, it has a place where it brings you yield. And the main thing is to try to really tie the H&S together with it, because a lot of people and a lot of businesses are going to want to end up having their own namespace that can be callable in the same marketplace or same directory. And that is it, pretty much. Thank you, HandyCon.
Wait, I think I'm echoing.
Hello.
I'm echoing. Do you hear me?
I hear you, Mike.
Whoa. Do you see me?
Yeah, I see you now.
Do you hear me?
Yeah. But, hello?
All right. Irv, we lost you, man?
Yeah, I think we lost Irv.
All right. I was going to ask you some questions, but we still got time on this session. I was really excited. Are you there?
I'm back.
Okay,
Okay.
You're back. Okay, great.
Did the whole thing cut out, or?
I tried to put myself, I tried to put myself up on stage to ask you questions, and then I don't know if it was me or, but yeah, you can share your screen again, but yeah, I hear you now. How you doing?
I'm good. The whole thing cut out? Where did I get cut off at?
No, it was the whole thing. I heard the whole thing, but then you said that's it, and then I came on to ask you questions, and then you lost.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. All right, I'm back.
But I heard I think everybody heard the whole thing up until the end. Some people were asking how to connect with you.
Okay. On X for Agentic Web is my handle. I'll actually type that in the chat. That's probably the best way. And on LinkedIn, Irv Taylor. I'm not really active in a while, but I'm going to get active now. Did I just type that right? Okay. That's on X and that's my LinkedIn. If you're on WeChat, International Irv, and WhatsApp, my phone actually conked out on me today, so I have no device.
Oh man. But I think you could put it in the chat. Or if you're in the chat, maybe you just type in what you'd like. And there is a Q&A question. People can use Q&A. But maybe you can type it or I could type. Yeah, if you could type it in the chat. I don't know if you see the chat window.
The criteria for registering names along the lines of meeting a certain criteria to claim AI architect. When I'm thinking about, I'm stuck on that. I want to do a sunrise registration to allow the real traditional way so people can claim the names that are important. But we are also in the space where it's happening right now. So let's do that. But I'm going back and forth on that. And I'm going to try to create like a platform where we can get some other people involved and vote and give some suggestion to it. But I'm open to suggestion for that question.
Okay. You can share your screen again if you'd like, so people can see it if you'd like. It's up to you. Because right now it's just me here alone on the screen. But we should also put we should put the Q&A on screen, actually. Just another feature request for the software here.
My desktop is a mess.
It's all good. It's just something to see while we're talking here.
Uh-oh, wait.
Okay, another Q&A is coming. But yeah, are you thinking renewals or one-time payments?
So I've been hard back and forth with that. What I'm leaning on is following the industry and just doing the 2-year renewal like everybody else. And then it helps with the squatting out here. But I need to make sure that it's affordable as well because people are going to register a lot of agents, I think. So it needs to be figured out to where it's not a hard Trojan horse, but it needs to be respected as an investment as well because it's not just a handle. This one will make you some money if you do it right.
Yeah, I'm putting in the chat X402. I don't know if you've heard of this one. It's a new protocol for internet native payments for AI agents. It's on it's an Ethereum thing. I can send it in the chat. Yeah, somebody else is saying it. I have my website you can read, but you can Google it or ask an LLM. But basically, it's programmatic payments for agents using crypto. It's more about Ethereum and I think stable coins. But I haven't studied it deep enough. But it's something to maybe look at so that the agents can pay and programmatically pay.
Yeah, there's somebody was doing something with web4.ai just recently. They have something called Convex, I think. They're doing some domains on Convex.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that keywords. Cool.
And Kite. There's another one called Kite AI that has something for payments. There's a few that recently popped up.
Yeah. X4, again, I was on a Bankless podcast and just getting some momentum. I haven't looked at it myself. I saw some frameworks even online, open source, to use in your apps to integrate X402 for agent payment. So the idea is they could get a wallet with USDT or C and probably other cryptos on ETH, and then they could programmatically make a payment for a service. So they could come here and register the domain and pay without a human intervention, which is exciting. There's more questions in Namer Tips.
Yeah, there will be policy. So I definitely want to have.
Maybe just read the question for those, especially for recording. It says, okay. I'll say it. I could ask a question. Will you have an abuse policy? Some agents will be used for nefarious purposes. Nefarious or nefarious.
Yeah, so we will have an abuse policy. And part of that was the reason why I was going back and forth about the annual policies for the renewal, because if it's a 2-year commitment, they have less likely use to that. And then they'll have a rating, a report, a trusted handle, and they'll be like a Google profile. So anybody can kind of give feedback 24/7, 365, and it's always there. So if you drop below a certain score, you lose privileges. And if you lose so many privileges, then your agent comes offline. And it basically goes back to second market after so many days is the idea so far. But that's still, all of this is still open for building with, because again, it's going to be open source as well. So if anybody wants to build on it, it'll be a repo available that anybody can plug into, because my idea is for everybody to have, it's like HNS is for everybody. So I just wanted to build the infrastructure. Blink Labs was talking about infrastructure is where I think my focus is at. And I came across you all, this community, and I think we can all make it work together.
Yeah, man. I'm glad to have you here. It's been great to get to know you more on the chats. And there's been more and more questions on how to contact you. So I know you have phone issues or whatever, but just if you could throw a contact, I think you said it verbally, but if you could type it or I could type it for you. Oh, I think somebody's typing web on X. Is that?
Yep.
Okay, you put your email too. Okay.
And then there's another question wants to know about premium names. Yes, definitely will be premium names. I think there's a world where you have to have that. It helps everybody.
Awesome, man. No, this is cool. Yeah, I'm glad you shared with us today. And yeah,
and
this
that
is
handle is going to get active as of next week. I'll be active because this site will end up going live between now and Monday. Not this particular version, but a version that is usable that everybody can plug into, and it'll be repo.
Okay.
Oh, I'll give you my GitHub repo. Actually, it's Get Powered by AI. I think something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Here we go. Oh, wait.
Isn't this cool? I think this is. I was chatting to some people privately, but this is the cool thing about, I think, open source, open protocols. Like we can just build stuff. Okay. Get Powered by AI. GitHub. Okay. So you said Monday or this week?
I'm working 24/7, so I'm going at it. But by Monday, I would like to be the latest. And I'm new to GitHub. I'm not a developer. I'm vibe coding. I understand code from back in the day before WordPress took over. So I'm plugging in like old knowledge with new knowledge. And so if anybody wants to tap in and contribute, I'm here for it.
Great.
There's a couple more questions.
Yeah, there's more Namer Tips. I think you and Namer Tips got to connect, it seems, but it's great. His next question is, do you plan to allow other AI bot TLD owners to offer names through your platform? Could be something worth considering.
Definitely. That's where I was saying, I think the names, if you consider as a business or telling you what you do, for example, like you got, I think there's one I saw on your page before, I think Mastermind. So
Yeah, Mastermind.
That by itself, to me, is almost like a second brain for every agent. Like you can have as many characters in that chat or that agent, that TLD running all kind of conversations for people. Think Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill as an agent. There you go.
Yeah, that is a cool. I didn't think of that. It was one of my favorite TLDs that I've gotten, and we're not really using it. We just have Handshake.mastermind for the recordings of the spaces on Twitter. But yeah, I'd love to work on it with you. There's another question from Giovanni Rossi, which has been very active in the event. Thank you, Giovanni. He says, how do you plan to market your TLDs in a growing competitive landscape, especially with new emerging namespaces?
Okay, so for me, I'm old school grassroots. Physical distribution is key. I have a lot of retail. So my background is import, export. That's how I met Mike through
I remember.
So yeah. I sell to retailers. So imagine walking into any retailer on the counter, there's that gift card or it's on that receipt. There's that suggestion, sign up. That's the first thing. Then product, getting put into every product as possible. Locked in with suppliers that need AI or need compute or don't want to get knocked out the race. Tap this on the box. We're going to be the registry. If you want this ROI on the back end for anybody like an affiliate program, that's the exchange. So we're going to get as much visibility as possible, basically. And then on the sidebar, my background is some entertainment, some industry-related things. So celebrity influence is very easy for me. So getting that placement involved in so retail, product, celebrity influence, and then I understand marketing very well. I've had this hat right here. I don't have a video on at the camera, but I had a brand before, so visibility is kind of easy for me.
Great. Yeah, man, it's been great. I remember we chatted many years ago, and it's great to have you see this coming to life. I do feel like this is the right space. Yeah, so I think for sure in the Handshake community, everybody has TLDs. So if you can make it like platform style, like Namer Tips says, where people could stake their names for agents, it probably could be any TLD, but it's an agentic style TLD. It'd be great.
I'm down for it.
More questions. Your Namer Tips again. Will you cap? There's another Giovanni too. Great. So Namer Tip says, will you cap registrations per TLD or institute things like character count to preserve namespace quality?
I'm planning to follow all the best known practices. So if it's a 3-letter character, you might pay more. If it's a name that's most likely known to be popular, it'll be more. a cap on how many you can register? I don't think so. And I say that because if you think about the BPOs, MSPs, the VAs around the world, they're going to be selling agents to other companies, and developers are going to also sell agents to other companies. So you probably need to be able to have a volume tier or a bulk tier, and you might have to qualify for that, but that's probably the idea.
Great. Yeah, more. It seems to me Giovanni and Namer tips are really active. It's great. There's more and more coming, and everybody can follow these in the Q&A tab. Giovanni asks, as it relates to security, do you move all your names to Bob Wallet?
Yes, I moved them. I got everything on my own. Actually, Bob was where I started, but I ended up creating my own once I figured out the GitHub repo on HNS and a little back and forth chat with Claude and GPT.
Cool. Wow, you made your own. Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all the... So I figured out a lot of HNS stuff I couldn't understand at first. So through not understanding, I just ended up like sourcing. I just like, all right, where's the beginning of it? And I just built my own.
Okay. That's somewhat of a good and a bad. Yeah, I support it, but at the same time, it's a lot of work. But yeah, it's cool you made your own. Maybe you can open source it or something if you like.
I plan to, for sure.
Okay, that's awesome. Another Giovanni, will you offer a marketplace for users that want to sell SLDs?
Yes, we've got the TLD for AI Marketplace, so that'll be live for that. So anything related to AI, it'll be broken into categories. So think of it like Amazon for AI. And I know there's another one, AI Registry. So that'll go live. So one will be just for AI domains, and then there's one for registered domains and exclusive domains. And the idea behind that, the campaign will just be like, the fastest way to register domains is just go to your browser, type registered domains, one word, / whatever word, hit enter. And then that can be the drop down to all the other categories for SODs for aftermarket.
Okay. It's really exciting. Yeah, I'm a big believer about agentic domains, and I think this is almost like Tendo said in his video in chat. It seems like almost Handshake was built for this without it in mind.
Doubt.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's almost like what it was meant for without it. It seems more obvious. There is a OX question. It's great. Thanks everybody for your questions and using the Q&A tab. What about SLD renting for subdomain creation, i.e. on top of AI.os?
Yes, I think that's, for me, monetizing the TLD as many ways as possible is the main idea. The handshake idea, like NFTs were great, but I think this gives NFTs a rebirth. And wallets get way more registrations than domains at this point. And so now you have three combinations where you have the NFT, the agent, and then the TLD. I think that's everything he's talking about.
Okay, there's more questions. Is it all right, Irv, if I let you handle this? I got to go the next speaker. I'm just going to go, but maybe you got a few more minutes?
Yeah.
I have to hop in the other, or I'll hop off, but you can get a couple more questions because I think I got to go talk to AJ in the next section for Noster.
All right, so the question next is, did I have a naming strategy for what TLDs you were going to offer? There is a strategy, and most of it is built around infrastructure that cities and governments, businesses, I'm trying to think of every use case to set aside and then tap that into a network of people who are going to build together with it, so we can have a consensus on the best strategy for that. And then this next question is, will a single bot be able to be assigned, use more than one name at a time? Yes. So if you get one handle, just like any regular domain, you can get a subdomain on that, and you can create as many subdomains on that as possible. But what we plan to do is, when you register for your 2-year registration, you'll get free compute included every month, comparable to what you would get with a ChatGPT Plus plan with image video generation or something like that. And if you top out, then you need to add more compute. So being that you can have compute included, that's the part we haven't figured out. What if you get a certain amount of sub agents that can use the compute, and then you just have an API call for the additional agents, or what? That part I'm still open for discussion. And then will you reserve names to avoid potential trademark disputes? Yes. not just trademark disputes, but names that would be used for function calling, tool purposes, things that could be a general sub-agent that anybody can call. And that way, if somebody wanted one for that use case, these are set aside. But if you need one specifically for that, then you might have to get your own TLD. But that's the idea. So you can have general sub-agents across as many use cases and pain points as possible. And then whatever else is left over, people most likely will just use their personal name or their business name or whatever use case they might come up with.
All right. So, Irv, thank you for answering a lot of questions. And thank you for being here at HandyCon.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it was a great presentation. And yeah, we're very much excited with what your next steps are and hope we can have more of you in the Handshake community.
Yeah, I look forward to being involved as much as possible now that I'm here. I look forward to connecting with as many people as possible. And I thank everybody for being here in the community. I'm excited.
Okay, cool. All right.
Sorry for the camera.
No problem. Okay, nice. Yeah, we have up next AJ from Noster Devs. And yes, we're ending now and see you at the next one. Thanks, guys.
All right.
The 6th Handshake Conference, HandyCon White, Building the Sovereign Internet, wouldn't be possible without the generous support of our sponsors. Our platinum sponsors, Easy Domains, ShakeStation, Handshake Swap. Our gold sponsors, USwap. Our community sponsors, Handshake AU, Own the Dot, Namebase, GFAV IP Wallet. Powered by Sky Include. Thank you for believing in a decentralized future and empowering this community. Get your free ticket now at 2026.handycon.xyz